Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Tabernacle Christian head basketball coach Matt Grimes. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Good to see you again, Coach.
Good to be back.
Absolutely. So a week ago today, you played Tuscaloosa Christian. Unfortunately, it was a loss, 57-35. Tell us some about that game.
That one, we started off playing well again. We were still without Aaron Peters and Jeremy Harrod, two of our seniors.
Right.
So we were just hoping to make it competitive because Tuscaloosa is a good team, very well coached. And we were able to keep it within 3 at halftime. But then the second half, they were just able to pull away from us. We really couldn't get any scoring going in that second half. But overall, the game, at least the first half, was a pretty bright spot. Eric Reed finished with a career-high 24 points. So it really was him able to get going with the scoring. He actually had 17 in the first half. So we know once we get everybody else back here, it's really just another scoring option for us that we'll be able to use. It wasn't exactly the way we wanted it to turn out,
right,
but at least the first half was a bright spot for us.
Okay, good. You can build off that,
Absolutely.
Right? Good deal. So then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you had the Torch Classic here, and your first opponent was Pineview out of Huntsville. You lost that game 60-47. What took place in that one?
Well, that one was Aaron's first game back. He did come back and play. He practiced the day before, so hasn't gotten in a whole lot of conditioning, a whole lot of playing in the last 3 weeks, but he still gave it a go. He finished with 14 points, actually,
okay,
so he did all right.
Yeah.
But defensively, he was still a little slow moving around, and so he helped us a lot on the offensive end, not as much on the defensive end. But overall, as a team, we just couldn't quite. It was close the whole time.
Right.
They started, I think, pull away a little bit in the third quarter where they got it maybe 8, 9, 10 points. We pulled it back to 2, I think, in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, we gave up a few too many offensive rebounds. I think we had a turnover, and they were able to stretch it back out. So
gotcha.
I guess the biggest problem really in that game for us was really gave up too many offensive rebounds and let them have too many second chance opportunities. So,
okay.
But it's stuff we working on cleaning that up a little bit. So again, it's just something we know we need to improve for the future.
Okay, good deal. So then the second day on Friday, you played Central Christian. You beat them 56-51. Tell us about that one.
That one going into, they have 2 really good guards with pretty good size, and they had their big guys definitely had the size advantage on us.
Right.
But we were able to really, I guess you could say, control the pace. That one we did well. It was probably our best game of the season, at least up to that point. Tucker finished with 25, so he really got going.
Yeah.
That previous week against Tuscaloosa, I think he only had 4.
Right.
Pineview, he did have 17, but there again in the Central game, he had the 25 for us.
He came on strong.
He did. Aaron ended up with 16 in that one, Eric 11. So it got us 3 guys in double digits, and we were able to get going. We did a little bit better with the rebounding, especially in the second half. Gave up a few offensive rebounds to them in the first half, but second half we did much better.
Right.
And so that was really the key for us. It ended up being about a 1-point game, and then they fouled us a couple times there at the end, and Aaron went in and knocked down 4 out of 4 free throws to seal it for us. So
very nice.
It was a good way to finish off a close game.
Absolutely. Probably some good takeaways from that as well.
Absolutely. Losses, wins. There's always stuff we can learn from, but it's getting going in the right direction.
Right.
So.
For sure. So Saturday you had Cornerstone Rainsville, and you beat them also by a score of 49-25. What took place in that game, Coach?
So this is a school we play a couple times every year as well. Plus, they'd already played 2 games in the tournament, so we'd seen them play a couple times. And so we went into this one, I guess you could say, a little bit better prepared. Aaron's got 2 games under his belt again, and
that
so
helps.
That does help. So we got going pretty well right from the start. It was, I guess, about a 5-6 point game at halftime, but then we were able to outscore them 18-4 in the third quarter, and really that just gave us a gap to where we were comfortable for the rest of the game. But offensively, we ran our offense. We did our stuff probably the best as we have all season. Rebounding, we did well there as well, especially in the second half, which is why we were able to pull away from there in the second half. So it was we're on the right tracks, going from the Central game and the Cornerstone game it's put us on a trajectory that we like, that we think
Right.
will help us as we head into this week. So.
Good, for sure. So looking ahead tonight, you have Tuscaloosa Christian again. What can you take away from the last game that you had with them that you can implement in this game?
Well, we know as far as defense goes, they played us a lot of man. They did a full court, I'd say full court pressure because it was a man and not really a zone press. So it's just things that we'll be a little bit more prepared for this time.
Right.
Having Aaron back is definitely going to help us. And then Jeremy Herard, our other senior who's been out, he's actually going to give it a go tonight. So we're kind of getting back to where we're going to have our full roster. Maybe not completely healthy for those two guys yet, but at least they'll be on the court and out there. So that's definitely going to help us as well. So hoping to be much more competitive, trying to make the whole game the way the first half was last week and maybe be able to pull out a win if we can. So.
Okay. Well, this Friday, you travel up to Huntsville to play Providence. What do you expect to see from the Knights?
Providence is going to be tough. They're definitely going to have a size advantage on us. They have a very good post player who did some damage to us last year.
Right.
So they're going to have a solid team. They'll have some quick guards who can shoot as well. So it's going to be a tough matchup for us. That's really, it'll let us know where we're at and where we need to be here as we, or by the time we get into February and into our state tournament time. And so it's just going to kind of be an indicator. We're going to go up and do the best we can and learn from that one when we can. Hopefully, if possible, obviously we'd love to have a win, but at least a solid showing and again keep heading in the right direction.
They are always a good team. And y'all two play each other really well.
Yeah, they've been competitive for years. Last year actually it was the two of us in the championship game. They were able to. We split in the regular season. We won here. They won at their place. And then they beat us there in the state championship game. So again, it's just kind of one of those that'll show us exactly where we're at and what we need to work on. So
okay, good deal. Well, Coach, that's our show. We appreciate your time, and we certainly appreciate you watching week in and week out. Join us again next week for another Tabernacle version of Coach Speak.